Columbia, I really became interested about one of my classes in microeconomics about how the brain works and just the general way we as human beings react to different things, the way we are as a person. And I always had this thought at the back of my mind, but then I started to explore it a little more, and then I read a lot, and I have come down to a set of things that I right now believe in. And I basically think that it's all about chemical reactions and all that goes in your brain, in the sense that the kind of bonds that the brain forms with different activities or the things that you're normally engaged in. And it's true for everything. So for example, even drug addicts or alcoholics, they would basically, their brain is forming a bond with those activities because they are getting addicted to the chemical reactions in the brain. And same with students and researchers. So they are using their brain while, like, in the quest for the unknown. That's what, like, helps them enjoy what they are doing, and that's how it goes for them. And so one of the other things that led me to this thought was the changes that I saw in me. The fact that I was increasingly having instances where my brain would be blank for a couple of seconds, and then I would trace it back, why does it happen? And then I would see that the only part of my day which would lead to that blankness, apart from me being blank suddenly while studying, would be the times that I'm on social media. So if I'm on Facebook, it's just a blank stare at the screen for just to pick up something that is interesting. And over the years since I've been on social media, it's somehow crept into something that my brain likes doing. So maybe that's what has led me to enjoy that, and its difficulties concentrating. So, and then I read about the chemical reactions in the brain and how it gets addicted to things and forms bonds with things. So I've actively made an attempt to channelize my actions in a way that I form bonds with things that will help me in life and stay away from social media as much as possible, and things that would not let me use my logical brain and just focus on the intuitive brain. So that was one other thing that I tried figuring out, that okay, well, everybody uses their brain, but then what's the difference? The difference is that the people who use more of social media and things that rarely utilizes the brain, they rely on the intuitive brain. So it's the lazy brain. It does not like to think. And the other half of the brain is the logical brain, which likes mathematical deductions or logic. And yeah, those are things that I saw and read on documentaries. So Daniel Kahneman was like the father of behavioral economics, what he got his Nobel Prize for. He distinguishes between these two processes in the brain, and it explains a lot about how I personally behave on a day-to-day basis, and knowing this is actually helping me change my actions in a way that my brain forms bonds with things that will help me, like research and just having a bond with my girlfriend or my family. So initially it's hard. You talk more and more often and you get more engaged in that activity, and then the brain starts liking it. So I'm trying to actively channelize my actions so that I use more of my logical brain, suppress my intuitive brain. And well, the intuitive brain is important, but it also leads to blankness and instinctive responses which might not always be correct.
Yeah, I think you just keep talking about social media and social platform like Facebook and Twitters. I want to know your view about this kind of thing. Do you think they are evil?
They are not an evil for sure. So, well, social media and the technology where people are being like, there's increased connection between people. So for instance, I could talk and see what my parents are doing back in India, so it's a really good thing. But it also, I think, depends on how you use it. So like, it's an old saying that a knife in the hands of a thief can take a life, but in the hands of a surgeon will obviously save a life. So it depends on how you use the social media. So basically, like, if you are addicted to it in a way that is detrimental to your life, it does not help. But at the same time, if your life depends on it in the sense that you earn money through it or advertising, so it's a great thing. So it's very context specific, the evils and benefits of social media. So you can't necessarily just generalize it. But I think for majority of the population, what is happening is that they are, like, social media is distracting from more important aspects of life. So even though you have a million friends on like Facebook, you know so many people, but yes, the personal bonding when it comes to face-to-face interaction, the sense of a community, like helping others and all those personal skills are being lost out on. And also the entire, like, even the rise of Donald Trump and all those things, I somehow tend to relate it to how people have been, like, utilizing their brains in the last 10-15 years, where whatever is being sensationalized is appealing. Oh, an attractive post on Facebook, and the use of your intuitive brain. Oh, that looks nice, that'll be good. So you're thinking short term. Your logical brain is not really working. Whereas how good a candidate is, or how good in the long term is, how much sense does he make, instead of him just being appealing in the present sense. So, like, yeah, I'm tending to relate everything to how just chemical bondings in the brain and how we relate to different activities. But
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you very much.
yeah, thanks.